There we go. There is the ready. Both players are ready. We're going to count this game down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And at long last, Season 31 is underway. I'm your toastess with the mostest, bringing you the action. It's coming at you fast, and it's going to be a quick one tonight. Just one match this evening, Cobra and Cryticalapis, and then we are done. Cryticalapis going for the, we'll call them the modified Sidnev strats, or Cobra's going for the modified Sidnev strats with the pushdown points early. Those could be very crucial to victory. I speak from first-hand experience on that one. So, as is tradition, let's see if we can get to know some of our players here. And I will start with our player on their left, and a huge raid. Monthly Tetris, Classic Tetris Monthly is coming in. Party of 57, your restaurant is ready because we can't fit you all at a table that big. Welcome in. It is Season 31, it's Division 1A, it's Cryticalapis, it's Cobra, it's an all-C battle here. And as you can see, we're about 20 lines in essence, neck and neck, separated by a line burn and 8 points. 116,000 for Cobra, now 161 for Cryticalapis as he gets a couple of toastresses. But we'll see if we can sprinkle some facts in about Cobra as this game goes on, and possibly game number 2. Now, as you all already know, Cobra is a roller. As far as in-person Tetris events, there's a few. Did CTWC last year, took 44th. Lone Star last year finished 4th. Stillwater 2024 finished 6th. Won Boston 2025 this year. And then in CTWC this past year, finished 7th and 4th at Space City. So has a lot of in-person experience, has been to his fair share of events. Anyway, Cobra now looking at about a 630,000 transition pace, a third of the way to 19. Cryticalapis around 600,000, so great numbers from both players to start off this match. As far as online events for Cobra, did CTM November, did the finished first and is at the Challenger circuit, and about 10 or so appearances in Masters. And in addition to that, he's the former no rotation 29 world record holder. So congrats on that. Anyway, we are about 60 lines in, 290k for Cobra, 307,000 for Cryticalapis, almost halfway to transition, so follow up with another pace check very shortly on both of these players. We can do that for Cryticalapis. He's at about a 650,000 transition pace. Cobra's at about just under 600,000, so once again, great early start for these two. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to check out the Matcherino. It is a new season. There is a new Matcherino pool. We've got some big names. You can help out players just like these two contribute to that prize pool by going to the Matcherino. And not to be outdone, Tetris Time also raiding after Classic Tetris Monthly joined us. I believe Tetris Time was playing on Classic Tetris Monthly, so the whole crew is coming to check out our action. And there it is. Thanks for the raid, Tetris Time. Welcome aboard. As both players now over 400,000 points, we are about as neck and neck as you can get. Only a few hundred points are separating these two players. But now both of them have some dependencies and some gaps set up outside of column 10. Cryticalapis does get the dirty column 7 Tetris, and it gives him the just under 1 Tetris edge right now, but neither player has an ideal board setup at the moment. We are approaching 100 lines. Cryticalapis is Tetris ready, would love a long bar. Cobra wants a dirty Tetris in column 8, but outside of that dirty Tetris, the board's not quite what he wants out of it, so would really love to get things down, because the more he's up there and the more he's holding out for this, the more Cryticalapis can expand on this lead he's got. But both players facing a drought. This one was about 20 or so pieces. And we're now sitting over 110 lines. 45k for Cryticalapis, 449k for Cobra. And now Cobra with 3 more Tetrises in hand before that transition. And that's actually going to be the same for Cryticalapis. So 3 more Tetrises to go, assuming they get maximum efficiency. And actually a great tuck setup by Cryticalapis. That's some great efficiency on his part. He and Cobra both get a Tetris. They have 2 more they can obtain. But Cryticalapis putting some weight on that. Well, he's going to have to set up for some burns. That's going to take a Tetris away from him before level 19. Cobra, meanwhile, transitions at 542,000 points. The first one to level 19 and gets a Tetris shortly after making it there. And Cryticalapis is going to burn into 19 at 559,000, so it is a race to the kill screen for both of these players. But man, Cryticalapis' board not in the best of shape, but that long bar is going to do wonders for his board health. Brings that board down. It's a lot more manageable, a lot less panic needed. And now we'll see what these players can do. We are now separated by just about a Tetris, 620k to 597k. Cobra with the lead, gets another Tetris, taking him into level 21. But Cryticalapis not too far behind. They're both over 600,000 points. Cryticalapis does have the long bar dependency. He's going to get a dirty triple out of this and open up column number 3. Meanwhile, Cobra has that board about down to the bottom. And he's got some sparkly pieces there that he is working with. But we are coming up to a kill screen pace check here on level 22. Tetris for Cobra. Both players almost there. Cryticalapis at about a 960,000 kill screen pace. And it looks like Cobra is almost at a 1.1 here. I'm going to call that about a 1.08 million based on where he is at. As long as they can maintain those numbers, we will see a max out and close to a max out before we get to level 29. Although, having said all of that, well, we check the paces. Cobra has built up a significant lead, 140,000. It is just under 4 Tetrises now. 851k, make it 882k following the Toasters. 882k to 768k is the score on levels 25 and 24 respectively. Alright, there we go. Both players getting a Tetris. Cobra actually getting the back-to-back special. Puts him at 949,000 onto level 26. So 30 lines to go. The question is, will he or won't he get the max out before the kill screen? There's a Tetris, and the next Tetris will put him over 1 million points. So prepare your cowbells, folks. Cryticalapis, meanwhile, sitting at 897,000. Just under 90,000 points trailing. Gets a Tetris now. He's over 900,000. Cobra gets the first max out of the match, 1.02 million onto level 27. But Cryticalapis down 80,000, but that leads only about 2 Tetrises, thanks to the fact that the scores for Tetrises increase by 1,200 points each level. And with the next one, Cryticalapis will also join the max out club in this one. There it is, a double max out. And we are 1 Tetris away from kill screen for both. Cobra transitions into kill screen at 1.132 million. And Cryticalapis with the next Tetris, assuming he gets a long bar. He doesn't get it, but he's going to transition at 1.02 million. And he's actually going to top out just after getting into kill screen. Tried to make it a good stack, but that's not going to do it. And Cobra has taken game number 1, 1.184 million to 1.021 million. Let's put that heart on the board for Cobra. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. All right, and with the start of game number 2, we'll go ahead and we'll finish up our show and tell about Cobra. Outside of Tetris, he is into a lot of NES games. Super Mario 1, Super Mario 3, Dragon Warrior Randomizer, there's one I haven't seen in a while, and Osu Standard and Taiko. So, a lot of games that you see amongst other players in the Tetris community there. I've seen my fair share of Taiko and Osu players on Tetris. And we're starting to see some crossover with the Super Mario Brothers speedrunning community. So in good company is Cobra with that selection of games. Early on, about 20 lines in, we are basically neck and neck. Once again, Cobra using the modified Sidnev strats, push down points up by 4, gets a Tetris to make it a Tetris and 4 points the advantage. Both players fighting through an early, smallish drought, 15 pieces. Not too bad. Both of them able to get Tetrises out of it. Some good stacking by Cryticalapis to get the well open, but he is now waiting for a Tetris as Cobra takes the slight edge, 30 lines in, 163,000 to 142,000. Both players now have gone for the pushdown point strats, as we see numbers other than 0 on that last digit of the scoreboard, so you know there's some pushdown happening here. We are just about to 1/3 of the way to transition. Once we get there, as you know, we will update those level 19 transition paces. Cryticalapis looking at a 570,000 transition. Meanwhile, Cobra looking at about the same, so still neck and neck. Cobra able to get a Tetris after that little drought and the build up high. Cryticalapis about to do the same, separated by half a line burn until that Tetris from Cobra. So they're going back and forth, and when the stars align, they are neck and neck over here. So I don't think it's safe to say anyone really has the lead. The score deficit switches depending on who has the Tetris at what time, and Cryticalapis sitting at about a 610,000 level 19 transition pace, and Cobra is at the same. They are staying very close to that half line burn separation. It's either a 1 Tetris gap or like a 370 point gap. So, in essence, about as close as you can get in this game number 2. If you're wondering about the actual scores, as we are around 70 lines in the books here, 332,000 for both players, for a moment separated by just 4 points. But with Cryticalapis clean, Cobra needs to get that right well open, and he does, and he follows it up with a Tetris. I was worried this might be a situation where Lapis could get the lead, but Cobra clears out quickly, gets the Tetris, and once again, we were separated by only a few hundred points. And after a 21-piece drought, both players throw yet another Tetris down, and the long bars are showing up with reckless abandon. Both players just raining down over 400,000 points as we approach 100 lines. And there it is again, only separated by a few hundred points at just the right moment. And there it is, folks. We have reached that Joey Parker turn. 100 lines on the board for both players. An O-Tuck setup, and Cobra does get it. And this seems to be a very high long bar distribution game. I'd be curious to see how many long bars these players are getting, because they're all at and over 500,000 points, 110 lines in. It is Cobra 522k, Cryticalapis 504,000 points. But we are facing another drought. That long bar has not shown up for a little while. Let's see when that drought ends. It ends at 21 pieces, so another 20-plus piece drought. It seems like a feast or famine board. Either you get a drought or you get like 5 long bars in a row, it seems. But anyway, both players have 2 more Tetrises they can get. There is one for Cryticalapis, and he does have a couple burns in hand, so he will take them and then Tetris in at 579k. That is his transition score. Meanwhile, Cobra takes his burn Tetrises, and he transitions at 617,000. So back to a level 29 race we go. Who's going to get there first? Who's going to get there with the highest score of the bunch? All right, with those 2 Tetrises, we have both players over 600,000 points. Could say that was a vid setup on the left, although not what you would typically call a vid setup. It does meet the criteria for Cryticalapis, so you can say it. Nice fits over there. And the lead seesaws back and forth between the 2 players, now in possession of Cryticalapis, up 686k to 656k, a 30,000 point edge. And Cobra gets one back to bring it to within a few thousand points. And we're sitting at level 22 on the right, level 21 on the left. Cobra hangs in a J piece. I don't think that was intentional, but he does get the 5 tap of the long bar over, so we can get back to bringing this board down. But right now, looks like 1.11 million pace for Cryticalapis into the kill screen. Meanwhile, Cobra's just under a max out. This is approximately a 998k kill screen pace. Both players get a Tetris, not quite a simul, but still very close and at the same time. And over these past couple of levels, Cryticalapis has increased this lead. It's been hovering between about 1 and 2 Tetrises, so after a game of almost eternal neck and neck, we're seeing a bit of separation here in these 2 players. On to level 24, and Cryticalapis does get to level 25. He is over 900,000, 954k for Cryticalapis, 868k for Cobra. It looks like we're about 2 Tetrises away from reaching Max Out City on the right. Cobra's still in great position to get one, but it'll take just a little bit longer. All right, there it is. There's the long bar, 991k for Cryticalapis. So yes, there is the other Tetris, and there is that max out, 1.025 million on level 26. This is great pace on his part. Another Tetris, 1.058, and this lead has exploded up to over 100,000 for Cryticalapis. Cobra down by over 3 Tetrises, and we only have about 15 lines until we reach that level 29 kill screen. Both players building up high. Looks like we're entering a drought here. When will this long bar shows up? It's been a hot minute since we've seen it. And it's going to arrive momentarily, we hope. Cobra waiting for it. And it's going to show up, and he's not going to be able to use it for a Tetris. Cryticalapis transitions at 1.179 million into the kill screen. A great score on his part. Cobra also with the max out, 1.033 million. And now it's a race to the double kill screen as Cryticalapis gets a Tetris on level 30. 1.267 is his score. And Cobra's board starting to fall apart, and he's going to top out at 1.076 million. Cryticalapis, 1.283 million, evens this up at 1 game apiece. And Cobra can't believe it, asking in the chat, how did that happen? But Cryticalapis is good to go on game number 2. We'll add that heart to his score. And let's see what happens here. He is on to level 33 and tops out at 1.313 million. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Game number 3. Both players have taken 1 game apiece, evened up after 3, or 1 game, evened up after 2, I should say, into game number 3. We'll see who can take that 2-1 edge into game number 4. Hello, Easy, Evesy, Chen, and RXS. Welcome to the party. All of you, along with everybody else here in the chat. It's a Wednesday night party. I'm glad you all came out to this one. We've had some great Tetris between these two players. Cobra taking game number 1, Cryticalapis taking game number 2. We've had double max outs, double kill screens in both, so you know you're going to get some great Tetris with the way these two are playing so far. And RXS has absolutely nailed it. The hype train has pulled up and stopped at Classic Tetris League. Early on, about 25 lines in, Cobra up slightly, 123k to 119k. Will this be a repeat of game number 2, where we are basically neck and neck for the entirety of level 18? All right, there we go, a dirty Tetris for Cobra. Cryticalapis, still on the bottom, does not need to build one row off, and it looks like Cobra is going to transition that well over to, well, column number 2, I suppose. This would be, or column 3. This is a column 3 dirty Tetris. He does get it, and now we'll see if he transitions that well over. Currently sitting at about a 600,000 transition pace for level 19 is Cobra. And same with Cryticalapis. So actually Cobra just under 600k, Cryticalapis at 600k. No, this is not Mega Daster Stolen Short Sword. This, I guess this would be Mega Rollsters. Because I just checked, and after further review, neither of these players are playing with DAS. But now, 50 lines in the books. 260k for Cryticalapis, 222k for Cobra, and yet another Tetris for Cryticalapis. So there's one for Cobra as well, and another one. Why not? We need more Tetrises in this game. But Cobra is over 60 lines. Cryticalapis is halfway to transition. He's at a 610,000 transition pace. I'll say Cobra's at about a 560k pace, so the edge currently going to Cryticalapis in this game number 3. All right. And now we've got Oof Means Egg putting words in Vandy's mouth over here, saying there's a 37-game penalty, and Vandy vehemently denies that accusation. 75 lines in. It is Cryticalapis with the Tetris and change edge, 375k to 338k. Has to deal with a bit of drought action, but does get the Tetris out of it regardless. Ah, yes. Ian Keith, the voice of reason, coming in to correct it. It's not a 37-game penalty. It's a 36-game penalty. Good to see that. Good to see that chat is on top of things with the monthly Tetris sanctions. Now we are approaching 100 lines cleared over here. Once again, coming up to the turn. It is Mr. Lapis with that slight edge on the scoreboard, although it's a little more than slight at the moment. 490k to 455,000 has the edge on Cobra at the moment. Both players trying to get themselves Tetris ready, and Cryticalapis does get it. He's first to half the max out. And Cobra, ooh, unfortunate hang there of the J piece. I think he wanted to use it for a tuck, but those plans fell apart a lot quicker than he thought. But he is set up for a dirty Tetris on column 2, so all is not lost. And he's going to get that dirty Tetris. Puts him at 486,000 compared to 582,000 for Cryticalapis. So little hiccup in the gameplay right there. And now it's Lapis up by about 4 Tetrises right now. He's actually got over 600,000. He could get up to 3 more Tetrises. This could be one of the best transitions that I've had when I've been streaming. So let's keep watch on that. Let's see what Cryticalapis can do. He's got 2 more Tetrises he can get before making the switch to level 19. And actually the same for Cobra. Both have 2 more in hand. Will they maintain that efficiency? There's one for Cryticalapis, 650, and he's going to transition at 674,000. One of the best transitions I've seen. And he's going to get another Tetris. He's almost at 700,000, and he hasn't even made it to level 20. Meanwhile, Cobra transitions at 539k, down by 136,000 points. But now we make our journey to level 29. And it is admittedly a slight uphill battle for Cobra, down by approximately 5 Tetrises. Players on level 20. But Cryticalapis shows no signs of stopping over here. He's at 753,000 points. This pace is bonkers over here. And once we get to the latter half of level 22, I'll let you know what his level 29 pace is. But right now he's not getting the pieces he wants, so it's going to do a little bit of harm to his numbers. Gets the long bar, but not when he wants it or where he wants it for that matter. Cobra's board, on the other hand, is looking nice and clean. He does get the Tetris, puts him over 700,000 points, and Cryticalapis still burning over here. Does get column 7 open to fill it with a long bar, and he'll get a Tetris for his efforts. And this is looking like a 1.2 million pace. We'll call it like a 1.22 million for Cryticalapis into kill screen. Meanwhile, Cobra, not to be outdone in his own right, this is about a 1.06 million pace for him, so we're looking at double max outs before a kill screen for both of these players, potentially. But as far as their actual scores, 937,000 for Cryticalapis, 796,000 for Cobra, both players on level 24. And looking to see what numbers we're going to get out of this. A Tetris for Cryticalapis. He gets the hay now. 969,000 to 859,000. And even the pieces know what's at hand. They're flickering because they know Cryticalapis has maxed out 1.002 million. Shake your cowbells, folks. There it is on level 25. 1.035 to 893k. But Cobra still having a decent game by all accounts. 925,000 into level 26 is nothing to be ashamed of. Those are still very strong numbers. It's just that Lapis' pace is so intense. He's already got a 1.1 and he just went to level 27. How high can we go here? Right, Tetris for Cobra. I believe with the Tetris for sure he'll get the max out, but it might only take a couple of line burns to achieve it as well. But he gets the Tetris, no doubt there. 1.032 million to 1.172 million is the score. Double max out, and Cryticalapis can get one more Tetris. There's the 1.2 as projected. Cobra is looking at, he can get one more Tetris out of this, which would get him over 1.1 million, I believe. And Cryticalapis transitions into kill screen. Again, that's over a 1.2 million. 1.256 million to 1.113 million. And now it's a chase to the double kill screen, as both players have great numbers, great scores, great pace. It's just enough. It's a tremendous effort. And a Tetris on level 30 for Cryticalapis. Cobra trying to get himself Tetris ready, down by 140,000 points. That's just under 4 Tetrises. Might have to hope for Cryticalapis to top out or slow down this pace considerably. But Lapis takes the dirty triple, gets this board brought down. And yes, RX is absolutely right. These two have played in Classic Tetris Biweekly before. Now you're getting them on the big show. As Cobra at 1.22 million, Cryticalapis at 1.34 million. He's going to get another Tetris. He's almost at 1.4 on level 33. Cobra, meanwhile, 1.23 on level 33 as well. So it is a slight edge in the line count for Cryticalapis, who hangs as S-piece there, and it's going to kind of make everything else fall apart. So Cobra, you have a chase down. You just need a 1.4. You get a 1.4, you take game number 3. So let's see what he can do. He's got about 40 lines to go. He's into level 35. So we focus on the left side of the board. As as Cobra looking to steal Game 3 after monster pace by a Cryticalapis. He's down 128,000 points, gets a Tetris. He just needs 2 more Tetrises in the next 27 lines to secure this victory. Question is, will he get this longbar? There is one of them. He's down to less than a Tetris, and he gets the Tetris, completes the chase down with a 1.4, and you know what? You've got 15 lines to double kill screen. I'm okay if you mullen it out. I think my team will understand if I'm a little late to volleyball tonight. So go ahead and finish this one out. 1.471. Will he get the 1.5? He's set up for a column 7 Tetris, gets the 1.5, and he's got one more line before level 39. He's selling out for the long bar. Where is it? There it is. 1.56, and he gets a few more lines for additional measure. 1.57 million. 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Sage advice from Stolen Short Sword. Do not let this go to Game 5. On one hand, I do like a good decider. On the other hand, my volleyball game starts in 25 minutes. So we'll see what happens here. And uh-oh, Cobra double booked. You hate to see it. I believe if you're a roller and you double book, the rule is you have to play your matches with DAS, but I don't make the rules. Now, one other thing we're going to look at is how do these players do when I am streaming them? So on the left we have Cobra. Cobra has been restreamed by me once. He is 1-0, so Cobra has yet to lose when I restream him, but again, small sample size. Cryticalapis is a frequent flyer on the Toast stream. Cryticalapis has played 9 matches that I have restreamed. He is 6-3 when I do, so he's looking for a decider so he can go 7-3. Statistics. You know, I kind of like that, Rogue Potato. See, this is why you're in the Carb Tell. I do like that terminology. But I am an impartial commentator. I will not be cheering for any one particular person. There we go, Tetris. We are a third of the way to transition. 630k pace for Cobra, about a 480k pace for Cryticalapis. So it is an edge for Cobra, just over a Tetris here in the early goings of level 18. All right, and a dirty Tetris from Cryticalapis, and now looks like he's going to try and transition that well back over to the right side. That appears to be the plan. Meanwhile, Cobra's board clean. He is set up with that right well. Tetris ready, in fact, and there it is. Current scores 306,000 for Cobra, 255,000 for Cryticalapis. We are nearing that halfway point. In fact, Cryticalapis is there. 510k transition pace for him. Cobra, not quite halfway there, but he will be shortly. And there is the Tetris to bring him there. This is a 640,000 transition pace, so the numbers currently favoring Cobra. So Vandy probably liking how this one's going so he can get his DAS Masters match going. But we are dealing with the drought on both players' screens right now. This one's looking like a decently sized, up close to 30 pieces. And there it is. That was a 30-piecer. And Cobra's able to get a Tetris with the long bar right after. It's still up by 50,000 points, just over 2 Tetrises. And now both players will try to make their stacks a little easier to work with, as that decently sized drought did a number on both of them. now up to 90 lines. 90 lines is the count. 90,000 is the lead for Cobra. Cryticalapis down by just under 4 Tetrises. I'll make it 3 with that Tetris. But it is Cobra now over 400,000 points. 408k to 363k. Gets a dirty column 4 Tetris. And he's going to go for another dirty, it looks like. It's a dirty column 3 Tetris. So Cobra going for the dirty, non-conventional Tetris setups, and he is getting them. Now over 100 lines and up 479,000 to 431,000. So the lead just over 2 Tetrises as we near that level 19 transition. Right, and on the right, you see Cryticalapis does put those long bars up there, almost as if it's a hold chamber like you'd see in modern Tetris. He's got a stack of 2 or 3, gets a Tetris on top of it. He can get 3 more before that transition to level 19. Cobra can get a few more. I don't know if he meant to put that long bar there, but it's there, and he gets the Tetris now. And he has 4 more Tetrises before level 19, so let's see what these players can do. Cryticalapis is able to get 1 more. He's got a couple lines that he can burn, but he won't need to worry about that because he transitions at 526k. Cobra can get 2 more Tetrises. There's 1 of them. And now set up for that last one, which would give him a 600k transition. In fact, it's 619,000. So now, on to level 19 speeds. And we'll see if Cobra can get some more separation from Cryticalapis, or we'll see if Cryticalapis is able to close this gap, potentially take the lead, and make this a very spicy post-transition competition between the two. 696, that's a hey now and a 1. Yeah, the scoreboard for Cobra. 696 to 625,000. Cryticalapis' board gets a little high, but he does get a Tetris out of it. He's on to level 21, a little ahead in the line count. Cobra about to go to level 21. There it is. He is there. But now, Cryticalapis on to level 22, so hovering around a 5 to 10 line count advantage, if you want to call it an advantage for Cryticalapis. He gets another Tetris. Both players over 700,000. Another Tetris, and Cryticalapis has taken the lead. And this is a 1.1 million pace for Cryticalapis, as he is now on to level 23. And a 1.17 million pace for Cobra. So, not necessarily, it wasn't the true lead. In fact, it isn't even a lead at all now, as Cobra has retaken that advantage. And both players have surpassed 800,000 points on levels 23 and 24, respectively. This one looks like it's shaping up to be another level 29 and beyond chase down or dueling Tetris situation for both these players, as Cryticalapis takes a great delayed burn. Smart play on his part, and now he's trying to do some tucking. He has a Vit set up. Now he just needs the long bar to complete the Vits, but what a terrible time for a drought to show up. That long bar is not appearing, and Cryticalapis is in danger. He's going to top out, and Cobra survives. He takes it 914k to 868k, and we'll give him that 3rd heart of the match. Put it on the board. Cobra wins 3 games to 1, and he just tops up because he's got a game to get to. Thank you all for coming on out. And it's time for Toast to get to volleyball. So you have multiple watching options. By the way, that drought was at least 35 pieces that the players were dealing with at the end of game number 4. So we will report this match later. You know Cobra won 3 games to 1, and you have multiple viewing options tonight.
Or the end? Not in the middle. That's weird. Anyway, we got both players ready. Let's go ahead and get this counted down for our first match of Season 31 opening night in Division 1B between Blue Scooty and ID Kirby. And we'll count it down in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Okay, we are no longer getting trolled. We have the correct scene. Different openings off of piece number 1. Go ahead and introduce the players on the left. Rolling out of the United States with an NTSC PB in the bot of 12,409,000. I'll say nothing more on that. He is the former back 5 back champion of CTL, the first player ever to do it. Welcome in blue, Scooty. And on the right, with that dirty Tetris, 8 rows off of the floor. Looking to put some aggression on here in Division 1 and show what he's capable of. He is also rolling out of the United States. PB of 2,566,000. Welcome in, ID Kirby. And now that we are underway, we got a whole bunch of quarters getting popped into the prize pool. Thank you so much to Gilded Lizard and Winterra for claiming some more of those codes. 42 remain. Let's try to get as many of those used up tonight as we can. Here in the early goings, Scooty has a slight lead, 205 to 186. Awkward board for Kirby. Couple of dependencies having to be filled in. And that's causing this, but it's a triple. That's pretty good. Oh, and hey, look at that. We got Human Rights contributing one of the coupon codes, because, of course, trans rights is human rights. Thank you so much for the quarter and the message. It's going to be a tough battle, but I think Blue Scooty can come out on top. He believes himself and scores highly. Tyler, truer words have never been spoken. I had to run that seed through my JavaScript script program I got. When I was going through the Nestris.org source code, I realized that there's also the source code to how seeds are generated. Let's see which one it comes up with. Nice spin there for Scooty. Look at these scores, though. Both players are on a very hot pace here. 331 for Kirby, 326 for Scooty, who's getting into a little bit of trouble, but is trying to minimize the burns. Looking to make it only 2. Ooh, okay. That S was a little scary until the L showed up. And then everything was fine, but now it's got a long bar dependency, and of course, look out, it's a drought. 20Dan03, thanks for the coupon code. And that's 10 coupon codes gone, just like that. Still 40 remaining. Another Tetris for Scooty. This game is very neck and neck here. ID Kirby is ahead in lines, and I think he has the pace lead, but it's only by like a couple thousand. Yeah, we'll get a more closer view here. 429 for Kirby, 424 for Scooty. Also, big shout out to Yobi. Of course, we kind of mentioned this in the final for Season 30, but we now have the ability to do remote calibration. And I was noticing there were some issues with Scooty's game field, so I just went in and checked a few settings, and now everything looks fine. Modified the level capture because it was a bit off, and sometimes that causes some pretty severe issues for viewing. So, ooh, triple flip for Scooty there. That certainly wasn't intentional at all. Well, if you believe in yourself and score highly, Kingsman, then... then you're probably using the wrong advice. 613 for Kirby, 524 for Scooty. This is some game for Kirby to start this one off. Ooh, careful. Both players kind of flipping out a little bit in terms of their roller's curse. Well, this is going to be a very high scoring transition. 595 for Scooty. That's pretty good. But an 8662, which is what Kirby has. So off and running level 19. We'll play 10 more levels at this speed, and then we'll double it at level 29. And should the players be able to survive on that, we'll double it again at level 39. So level 20. Tetris for Kirby, who's slightly ahead in the piece sequence. Probably by about 5 to 10 pieces. Yeah, it worked perfectly fine for me. I just tweaked the level, and I think I tweaked the line counter too a little bit, because it was looking too far to the left, I think. So the right number was cut off. Very slightly, though. But every pixel matters in OCR, so Kirby setting up something fierce here. Oh my goodness. Gets the bar. It's only good for a double. T doesn't make it over, but he's fine otherwise. Gets a Tetris, and now he's gonna have to clean up. Look at this. Is that actually a max out? No, he's got a 900. Okay, so time for some remote calibration. $902 for Kirby, 886 for Scooty. Level 24, halfway through the level 19 speeds before we hit the kill screen at 29. And this is nodding up a little bit. Scooty actually is taking the lead. They both have maxed out here at 26. It is within a Tetris, though. Scooty's got the B on the board. Kirby's waiting on a bar here. This is a bit of a drought. He's going to finally get the bar, gets Tetris. Scooty ahead by about 2 Tetrises as we barrel towards the level 29, formerly known as the kill screen. But it's gotten so bad at its job. Kind of don't give it that name anymore. 4-tap missed there for Kirby, but gets the 5-tap over the square.